But one thing is clear, and it's a universal truth. There is no such thing as free shipping. Greetings. Welcome to our YouTube channel, or welcome back if you are a supporter of our YouTube channel. My name is Edin. This is my beautiful wife, Melinda. We are a husband-wife reseller team based out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and we sell stuff on eBay and Poshmark for profit, items that we find locally at many different places that we source. The purpose of this video specifically is to talk about the free shipping model and how we utilize it and what we know about it so that we can potentially help you understand the model and maybe you implement it into your own store.
And keep in mind that what works for our business and what works for our store model isn't necessarily going to fit exactly the same into your store. That's because of where we're located, which is Michigan, and experience. So we started doing calculated shipping when we started. We offered no free shipping. And then as we got more and more comfortable with it, we started adding free shipping in gradually. We started with the first class shipping, because that's pretty easy. You know, if it's under £1, about the range it's going to ship for. And then we started doing clothing or things that were a little over £1 because we could calculate that. And then as time went on, we started adding more and more in until eventually we were completely free shipping.
Yeah, exactly. And it's very important, and we're going to preface that several times in this video, that what works for us may not work for you for several different factors. But we want to explain our point of view on free shipping, and again, in hopes to help you understand where we're coming from. But one thing is clear, and it's a universal truth. There is no such thing as free shipping. There never has been. There's no such thing. Someone is going to have to pay for it, right? It's just what the consumer or the buyer sees is free shipping, right? Just keep that in mind. Wait for Tali to get comfortable.
Are you good?
I don't know. You need to go outside?
With my pants, thank you. You want to just sit down and go to doing things on the internet?
Oh,
Toddy.
Toddy finds a perfect moment to come over and just give us all the love that we didn't ask for during the times where we needed her not to. Good girl. You need to go outside?
You have to go outside? You're gonna breathe loudly? Just like that.
Let's go outside. Come on.
Go on. One really big pro that we think is true for free shipping is it allows you to compete with bigger platforms like Amazon. Whether you agree or not, Amazon has really led the way, and they've really transformed the whole shipping industry, the whole convenience industry. Everything can get to your door within 1 to 2 days. And that's huge. It's changed buyers' expectations. They don't want their product a week from now. They don't want it 4 days from now. They want it max 2 days from now. So offering 1-day processing and free shipping gives us, we feel, again, this is a personal opinion, a little bit more of an edge to compete with that.
Exactly. And this is 2020, right? 2020, you want it now. And the other thing I'll add to that, and I love that you brought that up, when you go as a consumer to buy something on the internet and it's, let's say, $19.99, and then you go to checkout and all of a sudden it's $42.87, and you're just like, well, what happened here? It's just not the way it is anymore, right? It's just not, period. When something is $19.99, I'm paying $19.99 plus my applicable state taxes, and I want it fast.
Yeah.
That's all I care about. I don't care about the calculated shipping. And it's just the way, right? It's the way. It's period.
So we mentioned that we live in Michigan because obviously it matters where you're shipping from, what your cost is. A big factor in shipping is that it is still calculated. You're just taking the calculated shipping and adding it into your cost for the good. And you need to be thinking about population density. And what we mean by that is, where are most of your buyers going to be living? California, New York, Florida. So you need to think about where you are in relation to those highly dense places.
And that's extremely important because it's all about probability. The probability of somebody in Texas ordering your item is much higher than somebody in Rhode Island or the Virgin Islands, etc. And keep in mind that USPS, when you ship priority or first class, they actually do ship to places like Guam, Virgin Islands, Hawaii, Alaska. These places are really expensive to ship to because they're farthest away from you. So you're going to be targeted by that distance. So
Yeah. And one thing I want to add to that is U.S. territories, Guam, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, they're not states, but they are territories, which means it doesn't go through the global shipping program. It means that you cover the whole cost of shipping to those places. It's like shipping to Alaska or Hawaii.
correct. And I wanted to mention a couple of brief things. One, padded flat rates or flat rate boxes. We don't use flat rate boxes at all. Like we've used them maybe 4 times. We do use padded flat rate envelopes. They're the 12 by 9.5s. They ship for $7.91 as the current rate in November of 2020. But we use that typically for clothing and some smaller items. We do also use pirate ship for small heavy items, but usually our discount on eBay is pretty much the same thing. If you really want to know about pirate ship, we ask you to go out. Josh, aka Hairy Tornado, he did an entire video on pirate ship and how to correctly use it. So go check that out because we really don't want to spend much time on pirate ship at all.
So, for example, we mentioned the Virgin Islands and Guam. The population, combined population for those two areas is about 250,000. So occasionally you'll probably get an order there and it's going to break these rules.
Right.
But the chances of them going there regularly are very slim.
Right. Yeah. We've only, of the 2,500 shipments that we've shipped out, we've shipped 3 to Guam and 1 to the Virgin Islands. So a very small amount. In comparison to places like Melinda mentioned earlier, California, Florida, and New York. And the population of California, Florida, and New York combined is about 80 million people, right? So the population density matters because you have a way higher probability of shipping it there. So if you're living in California, it's going to be really expensive to ship to New York, vice versa. And that's why, again, your location matters, population density definitely matters. Melinda also said this too. Just because it's free shipping, it doesn't mean it's not calculated. You still have to do the calculations and you still pay for the size of the package and where it's going. And we're going to give you several examples. So next, let's talk about how we price our items with free shipping included in the price based off of the size and the type of item.
So let's get the exception out of the way first. There was only one time that it took more than $100 to ship something. And that's when it cost $203 to ship something that sold for over $500 to Puerto Rico. And it was a rainbow vacuum. So it was big, heavy, and going really far.
Super big, super heavy. It ended up being like 40 pounds. It was like 36 by 38 by 30 or something. Huge rule breaker for sure. But that's the rarity and that's the gamble. And we'll talk a little bit about the gamble at the end of this. Now let's talk about all of the times that we've spent over $50 but less than 100. So that range. Only 5 times did we spend over $50 and less than $100 on shipments out of the 2,500 items that we've shipped. And those are typically rock band sets with guitars and big drums in them, things of that nature. Really big boxes. We're talking about like 40-inch by 40-inch by 30-inch, big heavy stuff that's like 30, 40 pounds at times.
And that's a good point, actually, that you mentioned, because a lot of times sizing is a bigger consideration than the actual weight. Because these carriers factor in up to usually about 70 pounds. So these things with the bigger dimensions, that's something where you're going to have to think about shipping a little bit more.
For sure. And in those 5 shipments, it was an average cost of $66. So again, these are kind of the rule breakers, but when we're looking to price things like big 40 by 40 by 30, we actually price in about $30 to $60, depending on what the item is, for shipping. And we're still more competitive. And we're more competitive because the customer does not get the same price break on shipping as an eBay seller does. We get a commerce break because we're sellers. So typically on FedEx, that's like 40%. And you can see that when you go to print your label, it's going to tell you right there compared to what a normal person would pay when they go into the FedEx store. So In conclusion on this one, if you're shipping super big stuff, 60 pounds, 50 pounds, huge boxes, you want to price it anywhere from $30 to $60 for shipping in your price. So if an item is worth $100, it now is $150 free shipping. Hopefully that makes sense.
So moving down the next bracket would be shipments that have cost us between $40 and $49 to ship. Our average sales for those types is about $300, which means the sale is $250 plus free shipping, which makes it $300.
Right.
We've had 7 of these sales so far, and the average is about $43 to ship them. And these, we're talking big packages here. Model airplanes, huge speakers, big packages.
Right.
So $43, not too bad.
Right. And again, you price that in. If it's worth $150, but you know it's going to be pretty expensive to ship, you put in about $50 in the shipping, and you're still more competitive than your competition because they have it listed for $150 plus shipping, and shipping to California, Oregon, Washington is like $80, $90. And now you get the sale with free shipping instead of them. The next range is $30 to $39, meaning we've paid between $30 and $39 for shipment. And these sales on average are about $170 sales, which pretty much means it's about $150, $160 plus $25 to $35 free shipping, right? So $150 item is now $180 free shipping. These are typically large blow molds like Santa Clauses. These are DVD VHS combo units. These are small bookshelf stereo type speakers, things of that nature. We've had 24 shipments in that range, and on average it costs us $33 to ship it. So we know if we have an item like a 36-inch blow mold or a Sony desktop radio with 2 speakers, we're going to price in about $30 to ship that item. Now, sometimes it's going to cost $15 because it's going an hour away, and other times it's going to cost $45 because it's going to Oregon. It's the long-term average. It's not the individual sale. You're going to fail if you just make drastic decisions off of one sale. We're talking about over 2,500 shipments every time. Every video, Tati is in. You can hear her in the background. She just wants to be with us.
Okay, so moving down the range, now we're at the $20 to $29 range. In this range, we have sold 75 things that have shipped out in this range with an average cost of $24 to ship them. Now, the average sell price of these goods is about $130. So again, calculating backwards, that's about $120, $130 item with free shipping added in.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So these are bigger items. These are our bigger pots and pans. These are bread machines, VHS players, things of that nature.
So what happens if somebody orders a bread machine and it's going to, again, we're in Michigan, it's going to North Carolina, and we factor about, what, $25 on shipping? What if that same one goes out to California?
Obviously, talking about averages next time, if it's going to California, we're going to be paying the higher end of that, closer to $30.
Yeah.
North Carolina, we're going to be eating about that average cost. And if it's in Indiana, it's probably only going to cost us about $15 to get it there.
Exactly. So this is, again, population density and how that plays an effect. Now, if somebody in Puerto Rico orders that item, it's a good $90.
Then
right?
we cancel the sale. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that.
That's the gamble, right? But it's just, again, you're going to be targeted by the furthest away person typically because they get a better deal, and that's fine. It's perfectly fine. You're still more competitive. Let's now talk about kind of the easier stuff. This is priority mail, and this is roughly a third of all of our shipments that ship this way. It's that $10 to $19 price range where it costs to ship, and these are typically going to be smaller but bulkier items, if that makes sense. These are like 12 by 12 by 8 items in USPS priority boxes. These are like 16 by 12 by 10 items that ship FedEx. That's where a lot of our items ship. Here, we typically price in about $15 to ship that item. And we've sold 294 items in this price range that costs us to ship, and it usually ships for about $14. So we know based off of our data to price in about $15 when we're selling these kind of bigger oblong things. For example, ergonomic keyboard would be a good one.
Maybe bulky shoes.
Bulky shoes, boots are a really good example here. You want to factor in about $15 if you're selling a size 14 men's steel toe boot, right?
Yeah.
Larger rear wear, maybe like a 6-quart or a 5-quart. Another example would be like a VHS player, maybe that ships not too far away. That's kind of compact and it'll fit in like a 14 by 10 by 6 box, things of that nature. So if we're selling an item of that size, we would again factor in about $15 in shipping. If the item is worth $40, now it's a $55 free shipping sale. And we have countless examples. You can go through our store and you take a look at the free shipping items, which is almost everything. You can see what they sell for and you can kind of see how we priced shipping in that.
Right. So now we've moved down. This next area is where you are going to probably make the majority of your sales. This accounts for 582 shipments that we have sent out, and that's the priority mail, $7 to $10. Our average cost in this area is $8. A lot of shoes resellers, clothing resellers, this is where you're comfortable. This is that cost of your bread and butter items that go out regularly.
Yeah, for sure. Again, shoes, jeans, padded flat rate envelope, things like that. Things that fit in a shoebox or a 12 by 12 by 8 priority. That's a majority.
Right. And these sales are generally about $30 to $50. So factor in $10 for shipping, which means your item is $20 to $40 with free shipping on top of that.
So pop quiz for Melinda. We sell a pair of Nikes. Let's say they're worth $25. How would you price them?
$35 free ship.
Exactly. Another one, a pair of jeans, they're worth $40.
$48 free ship.
Exactly. So again, we utilize our data points to tell us roughly how much it's going to be. Now again, those two items that I just mentioned, if they sell to the Virgin Islands, it's going to be about $14 or $12 instead of $8 or $10. But again, it's the long-term average. It's not the individual sale. The last one is definitely the easiest one. And this is the one that we're going to urge you to implement in your store right now. Like, make this change now. If an item weighs less than 1 pound, you're going to ship it USPS first class. There are typically no other options that are better than that. So this is...
Yeah, the only exception is media mail, because media mail is just its class by itself, and it's super easy to or super cheap to ship media mail. That's books, basically, is your biggest category. Magazines, if they don't have any ads in it, that's the big thing. It can't have ads in it.
Yeah, Blu-ray, VHS, DVD, those are the other ones. So you can find all this about. We're going to link all of the places you can go for more information in the description below, USPS.com, FedEx.com, etc. And you can research this yourself too. But in general, if an item weighs under a pound, it's going to go USPS first class, and you're going to pay anywhere from $3 to like $5.60 or something like that. So we just typically put in $3 to $5 for shipping on items like a single video game, a T-shirt, a light pair of shoes like sandals or flip-flops, for example, bikinis, right? Things that are super light to ship. You know it's going to be in that range. So if an item is worth $15, it's $18 free shipping. If an item is worth $30, it's $35 free shipping. It's that easy. And you're still more competitive.
And if you have a scale, you can just throw it on your scale if it's close. If you're not sure, we still do this. We'll throw it on the scale without any packaging on it and see if there's wiggle room to get some packaging around it. And sometimes it'll determine what type of packaging we put around it, if we can keep it under a pound with packaging.
Yeah, exactly. Monster High is a great example.
Yeah.
Most Monster High, we shipped a bunch the last couple of days. They're usually first class. But now if you have a lot of 6 Monster High, now you're over that. So you have to be careful too when you're making these lots and pricing it. If you do 3 or 4 dolls, it's typically like 12 to 14 ounces. With bubble wrap, you're right under a pound. It's going to be about $5.50 to ship it. So if they're worth 50, it's 55 free ship, right? I hope that makes sense. So let's look at the data points on first class items. So here we have 518 shipments going out. And on average, we're paying $4 for shipping. Again, $3 to $5. If we price in $5, it's going to be closer to the 1 pound range. If we price in $3, it's going to be about half a pound.
One question that we get often is, do we have offers on? And the answer is we do not have offers on. And the reason is because we do factor in shipping. So if we have offers on and somebody sends us an offer, then that sort of negates what we've already calculated into the cost. We do send offers pretty much daily for a certain percentage that we can eat on that. But generally speaking, offers are off on our store. And we don't feel that that has hurt us at all because we're still selling on average 1% of our store on a daily basis.
Exactly. And that's up to you. You can do whatever you want with your offers, but we don't like the offers portion of it. Then it's just one more thing that we have to think about. Okay, it's listed for 50. They offer us 30. Should we take it? Well, now we have to go back. How much did we pay for it? How much is it going to cost us to ship? So since we're already offering several things, free shipping, fast shipping, and we're competitive on pricing, we don't want to add another layer of complication to our business model. And again, that works for us. What works for you, 2 thumbs, maybe 4 thumbs, 6 thumbs up if Toddy was here. Jessica, she has her thumbs up, at least 8 thumbs up for you. If that works for you, that's great.
Another thing, if it works for you, if you have something that is so unique that nobody else is selling it, then it doesn't really matter what you do with shipping, right? Because they're going to want that product so badly, or you're going to be the only place they can get that product, that whatever your shipping is won't matter. So this obviously does not apply to those scenarios.
Yeah, if your item is extremely in high demand,
like you have a golden egg from Russia or something like that, people will pay whatever the shipping is because they want that product.
Exactly. Super rare, super high demand, shipping doesn't matter. And again, people are willing to pay what the market value is, and some people don't care how much money they're spending on your item. So of course there's going to be exceptions. And you can't take this video, and if you've made it this far, and we hope you did, you can't take this video as your Bible of how to do eBay.
Right.
This is just one business model that works for us. And I think we've said that now 17 times and we're done saying it. Let's go show you exact real scenarios of how these numbers worked for us with real examples that we've packaged up today. So we're gonna walk over to the table and show you.
So this is a Revereware. It's between 2 pieces of cardboard and put in this poly mailer. Obviously it's pretty big. We factored $15 to ship this. It sold for $75 and it actually cost us $14.02 to ship this. So we were right on the money with that.
And
it was 4 pounds, 12 ounces, and the dimensions of this are 27 inches by 18 inches by 4 inches at its biggest point. And this is actually going through FedEx. These are easy. These are both first class. We factored in $4 for both of them and they shipped for $4. So these are a pair of shoes. They sold for $30. So remember, we factor in about $10 for shoes, and the shipping actually cost us $9.60 on these. For the dimensions, we're looking at 15.75 every time because it's a shoebox, and it weighed 2 pounds, 8 ounces. Okay, so this is a set of ceramic plates, so there's actually a lot of packaging in there. It's 4 pounds, 11 ounces. This is a 15 by 9 by 10 size box. These sold for $45 and we factored 10 in. It actually cost us $12.38. So you see that average starting to play in, right? So it was a little bit more, but on the other ones it was a little bit less. So it all averages out. This is a really big Pyrex set, obviously. So this is 13 pounds and 11 ounces. It's 22 inches by 19 inches by 13 inches. Now we factored $25 to ship this. It sold for $80 and it cost $27.33 to ship it. So almost right on. Now if it had shipped to just one state down from us, it would have been closer to $17. But that's the gamble you take with free shipping. Sometimes it will be a little bit more than you average in. But again, sometimes it's also going to be a little bit less than you average in. So we're going to go back, sit down, and then we'll sum this
Every
up for you.
good college essay needs a summary, and this is that part of this video. It's a summary. So let's talk a little bit about the pros and cons, and again, what the intent of this video is. And Melinda said it perfectly well just a second ago, so I'm going to let her say it one more time.
So this video was not to tell you exactly what you should charge to factor in free shipping. That is not what this video is. If you come back to us and say, well, you told me to price in $8 for a pair of shoes or $15 for a pot and pan, I'm going to tell you absolutely 100% that is not what you were told. We told you and laid out in detail what our business model is for shipping and what it costs to ship something from Grand Rapids, Michigan to other areas based on the size and weight that we've learned from experience is an average shipping cost. You still have to know what your average shipping cost is to get something between a weight range to different parts of the United States or to Kentucky if you're doing the global shipping program. That's on you. And the best way to learn that is through experience. Like we said at the beginning, we started with calculated shipping, and that's how we got comfortable factoring in these prices. I probably wouldn't suggest jumping into free shipping once you're first starting eBay and you don't really have any idea what USPS charges to get anything anywhere.
Right. And I want to mention a couple things about what Melinda said about the global shipping program and shipping international. So the only time we ship international is through eBay's global shipping program. Here's a great way to find out more about that. Google global shipping program eBay and just go through it, read it, sign up for it. This is not what this video is about. But when you sell something through the global shipping program, we just have to get it to Kentucky. Now for us, that price is going to be different than for you if you're shipping from a different part of the United States. So as far as like exporting things, flat export rates, things like that, do some research and see if somebody else has that specifically down. We don't do that, so we're not going to talk about it.
Right.
As far as everything else you said, absolutely right? You have to figure it out you. Now, if you tell me, like if you gave me a pop quiz for $1 million and you gave me 15 random items, you said how much will this ship to this area, I can be within $5 pretty accurately. So this is really important too, because every time that we go thrifting or garage selling, when we touch something, we know, right. We say, okay, this is a $30 item. It's going to be $30 to ship it though, so it's not really worth it for $10, right? Or this is a $50 item. It's going to ship for less than $8. Yeah, it's worth it for $5, right? So it really factors into our business model a lot.
And this is not an easy thing to learn. We can't stress that enough. It is one of the biggest struggles that people have entering the resale business and continuing on in the resale business. So many people get frustrated with free shipping.
Yeah.
So don't offer it. And that's okay too.
Yeah,
it's really
sure.
okay to use calculated shipping. A lot of people use it, and that's fine.
Yeah, for sure. Don't do something that's gonna make you uncomfortable. But let's talk about the pros, right? The pros is that Amazon is telling us how it's done, and everybody agrees, believe it or not, because Amazon is one of the biggest companies, right? Because we want it. So do as the leader does. You know, like when we started our resale business, we weren't like, we're just gonna figure everything else out ourselves and we're gonna do it our way only, and we're not gonna look at other leaders. No, we looked at people like Rally Roots. We looked at people like Cincinnati Picker. We looked at those people as role models and we said, oh, this is what actually works for them. Let's dig deeper. Oh, look at that. They have an entire series of videos we can watch, right? So you just have to do what's comfortable, what you want to do.
Hustle at Home Mom is a good one. She knows what to factor in for her clothing items because she sells primarily clothing items, and she's really good about knowing this is what it's going to cost me, and she does flat rate shipping. And that's a good way to go too, especially if you're shipping similar things over and over and over again.
Yeah, and she even says it in one of her videos that I watched recently. She said, for this item, I included free shipping because my competition did too for this item. For this item, I didn't because my competition didn't either. So there's a lot of business that goes into making those decisions based off of your competition. And one of the items that we sold that's in that pile over there was a $90 sale for a Pioneer receiver. We priced it at $90 free shipping. It sold within 2 days. There's another listing right now that's $50 plus shipping. It still hasn't sold because it costs a lot of money to ship that thing. So for a buyer to get that item, it would have been like $120 shipping to the West Coast. whereas ours was only $90. So again, just another example for you. I think this is a really good time to end this video. It's probably going to be a longer one, so it's definitely one packed with information. We truly hope that this video finds you in good health and that you actually learn something from it, and maybe you decide to apply some of it to your store, your business, or you say, those guys, I'm not going to listen to them. But one reason why you should listen to us is that we do this in between our lives, in between work. We're part-timers, even though we work a ton on this business. And we sell on average $10,000 plus every single month. So maybe consider listening to us, maybe. As always, we thank you for your time. We thank you for choosing to watch our content. We thank you for your kind remarks. And we ask you and invite you to ask us as many questions as you want to ask us for you to be more and more comfortable with shipping stuff that sells on eBay for you. With all of that said, I'm going to grab a nice glass of water because my throat is parched from talking, and I'm going to wish you guys a very good night. So thank you again. See you in the next one.